just a handful. Boys and girls from high school and college. Volunteers. Pioneers. Pioneers in a movement which is now nationwide and government-sponsored. But that year, they were only a small group of 500 youngsters who gave up their vacations to work on farms in Vermont. They worked harder than any of them had ever worked before. And then, when the harvest was in, on their way back to town and school, they all got together. This was the moment. By the enterprising spirit with which he has served on the American land, by the determination with which he has performed hard and unaccustomed tasks, by his aid to increase production of the nation's crops in the first year of the war, Dick Shaw has, in the summer of 1942, proved himself a worthy member of the Volunteer Land Corps.
Yes, that's me, Dick Shaw. I want to tell you my story so you'll see what it's like to go from the city to the farm where you're greener than the grass you cut. It's one of those slow trains that stop at every wood pile. There were a whole bunch of fellows and girls on the same train. I gathered they were all going to work on farms. So other fellas had the same idea, I thought. I'd just seen an ad in some small-town newspaper and answered it. Farming seemed to me the only way I could get my lick in and show my brother Tom that dropping bombs on Hitler wasn't the only thing the Shaw family could do to win the war. The farmer was supposed to pick me up. That man near the wagon was the only one I saw, and he didn't look very inviting. Pretty grim, as a matter of fact. "Could you be Dick Shaw?" he asked a big chap that got off the train. Now I knew he was my farmer. I never felt so alone in all my life. "I'm Dick Shaw," I said, and he only said, "I thought I'd get a bigger one." It wasn't what you'd call a warm reception. But I sure got warm, heaving those feed bags around. They weighed 100 pounds apiece, and he expected me to toss them up as if they were basketballs or something. I got the sneaking suspicion that we'd never be buddies. I tried to get a word out of him, but no go. I kept telling myself that it didn't make any difference even if I was 5 inches shorter than he'd expected me to be. I'd show him. Oh, I finally got him to talk all right, twice. When I said, "You've got a nice pig," he thought a while and said, "She's a sow." And then I said something about how beautiful the country was. I don't know what he said, but it wasn't much. At any rate, at that point I gave up trying to make conversation. So this was the farm, and this was my first day as a farmer. My farmer never got a bit chummier. He just expected me to know my way around, by instinct, I guess, because he never bothered to show me. And if he did, and I didn't get it right the first time, he looked as if he thought I had the IQ of a low-grade idiot. Once he let me try to milk a cow. I don't know why, but ever since I was a kid, I wanted to milk. Someone had told me it's like playing scales on the piano. Old Sourpuss never said a word. But after that once, I was permanently reduced to holding the lantern for him while he worked. And was I sore? And the manure? Oh, it was important, and I knew what you did with it. But I definitely didn't know there was so much of it. And it was such hard work. And all the time, I not only had to learn how to do all these things I'd never done, but I had to buck the boss and keep him from throwing me off his place. I'm not licked yet, I kept telling myself. I'll get the hang of it. Give me time. I've only been at it 3 days. Just give me a chance. But old Sourpuss was much nicer to the horses and the calves than he ever was to me. I was so worked up about the whole business, I just didn't have any appetite. I decided I was going to show them. I was going to show them that I could milk, that all I needed was a little practice, and I'd be as good as the next guy. Dinner didn't taste so good anyway. I felt lousy. I had to wait till the 6:45 pulled in, and that's a long wait when you felt like I did. I was honestly hip with this farm idea. Some bust I turned out to be, and his mother going to have herself a good laugh. Helping the war effort, I told her. You got fired in less than a week, she'll tell me. The station agent was saying something about the Land Corps. The Land Corps. Hold this bag for me. I kept thinking, after all, I'm willing and not dumb. If you set your mind on it, you can learn anything. I knew working on a farm was as important to winning the war as working in a factory or flying planes. And old Sourpuss hadn't given me a chance. Maybe this was it. Maybe here they'd help me learn how you do things on a farm. I heard the old man say he needed someone bad, and I kept my fingers crossed hoping he meant me. It was worth trying. If it didn't work out, I could still get that train back to the city. Larry was very nice and friendly, even though he didn't know me from Adam. You go ahead and try, he told me. Mr. Perry, he said, just needs someone. Ask him. And the first thing I heard was that the milking machine had broken down. I'd never seen a milking machine before in my life. The old man didn't have much time for me. The cows were waiting. I wanted to tell him all the reasons why I had to work on a farm. Mr. Perry was so busy he wouldn't listen to me. The only thing he said was, if you're any good, sit down and go to work. Okay, then I'd show them. This time it had to work.